Dragon's Lair. 2 people already watching me. Wow. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Whoever's watching me. Happy Valentine's Day, wherever you're watching from. It's Valentine's Day today in the United States. So, yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I wonder if this would be better up here. Probably better down here. Yeah, just don't know what you're doing today. Just thought I'd go live, see if anyone wants to talk. I don't know, anything. Lizards, sports, food, music. Yeah, I can talk about a lot of things. Just nothing too like as long as it's not like there's a lot of things I don't talk about. I can, but probably wouldn't be a good idea. But yeah, hey Christopher, make a love shout out. Yeah, I'm having a nice day. I guess it's probably it's not Valentine's Day anymore where you're at. It's Valentine's Day here, so I'm wishing everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day still, and yeah, thank you for stopping by, Christopher. It's nice to see you. How are you doing, Christopher? I'm trying to do maybe a little more talking with my audience. I do a lot of singing and working out, and not a lot of talking. When I'm cooking, I do more talking, but I know when I get going, I can actually talk a lot, especially when I'm drinking mate. I've been out of tea for a long time. I think that's why I've been getting tired a lot during my live streams. Stuff really keeps me awake, and I was just doing without it. I was like, kind of forgot about it, and I was like, you know what? Bet if I bought some mate, I wouldn't be tired anymore. And I'm sure it'll help me chat with the audience too. So if anyone wants to talk, it's kind of what I was hoping to do today. Just talk about whatever anyone wants to talk about. If no one wants to talk, I will show you around the room. I might do that anyway, just because no one's talking right now. So we shouldn't spill any of this. Let's see what everyone's up to. Hope you can see that. What I'm showing everybody. Slim. How you doing, Slim? Yeah, the cobra's not real. That's the lizards are all real except for this wooden one. My friend gave me this. There's a wooden iguana right there. Yeah, right there. That one's not real, but all the lizards are real. The snake is not real. How you doing, Slim? Happy Valentine's Day, Slim. Hope you're doing well. Slim, I wanted to spark up a conversation with somebody today. Maybe I should have used StreamYard so people could just come and talk and we could have done like a podcast. But I feel like anytime if I did that, I would have got sucked into some karaoke. But maybe not. Maybe I should have just used StreamYard. Maybe I should redo the stream so I can have better conversations with the. I wanted to connect with my audience a little more, Slim, having some conversation. I'm always singing and working out, not really talking too much. Yeah, I am in the jungle. This is my own. Before I ever thought about traveling to the Philippines, I put this together, Slim, because kind of the opposite. I didn't think I would ever be traveling. I have 2 kids, and I wanted to be here and see them grow up, but that's not going to happen. So I might as well just go travel and enjoy myself. And I could have done that, when everything happened. Instead of building this room and spending my life savings, I should have, I should have enjoyed myself. I was not very happy for a lot of years, and just missing my family. And I'm not going to get into any details about anything. I don't want to make my channel about like drama or anything like that. But I don't mind getting to know people, and I don't have too much to hide. I just yeah. I wish I would have not wasted all those years being upset and missing my kids and everything. But like I said, they're not coming back here, and I'm never gonna get to see them as much as I want to. So might as well go do something else and travel, enjoy myself. And Paul and Mia, if you're watching this, I love you. Don't take that the wrong way. I wish you were here. I wish you would have never left. Holy guess. Yeah, yeah. Good thing I have the sunglasses today, so I don't normally bring them in here, but yeah, but I have them on now. Yeah. I need to come up with some new songs, Slim. I've been singing the same songs. I need to practice. Make a new playlist, something. It's not hard anymore. It was really hard for me to like. I seriously would practice butchering a song for weeks, and then like now I don't really care. I'll just sing anything. I don't really need to practice. I don't know how I came up with such a bad playlist to start it either, but it worked out good. I think people were like, I think I was so bad that people watched me. Possibly, I think that can happen. But that's what I like about my YouTube channel too. I don't rehearse anything or like, I do try to clean up a little bit maybe before I shoot a video. That's about it. But yeah, it's just all whatever. It's my life. I only, my songs that I started out with, you know, I could sing Green Day songs somehow because I just listened to those songs when I was in high school, like a freshman. I'm not even a Green Day fan. Like I don't know any of their songs that they've sang in the last 20 years. But when I was a freshman in high school, Slim, I had those first three Green Day albums, and I played them like I'd get home from school and just play those albums in my room, before I had to go to work when I got off work. And maybe I was a freshman. I wasn't working yet. I did get a job when I was in high school, but I guess I wasn't even working yet. I was just get out of school and listen to those. Get out of school and listen to those Green Day albums so much that I don't know the songs. Like I know I just know every lyric to the song. I was trying to play guitar when I was a freshman too, so I was learning how to play those songs on guitar, and so those songs I just knew. So I knew those were the songs that I could just sing. Didn't have to practice, and then the other songs, like I just don't even know. I was just trying to put something together, and it evolved. My sneaker Dan was perfect because he knew everything. And can I play? No, I can't. I mean, I can play a couple songs, a few songs or whatever, but I can't. I never was in a band or anything. I had an electric guitar when I was, in high school, maybe a freshman, sophomore, and my uncle stepped on it and broke the neck, and I never really played after that. And I have an acoustic guitar now, but I can't really play now. I mean, I could grab it and play a couple songs, but I forgot more songs than I can remember how to play, and I didn't practice. And when I came to Eugene, I should have practiced. I had the guitar when I came to Eugene, but no, I got it when I lived here. But I lived with musicians, and everyone here seems to play music. But I can sing a couple songs. I never sang the songs when I had a guitar, but now that I sing karaoke, I picked up my guitar and tried to play and sing, and I could maybe get through a song or two, but I couldn't just pick up and start jamming with the band or anything like that. Like my uncles, they're really good. Like my uncles, they all play music. Like my uncle Tim was in like a Beatles cover band. He lives in Auburn, over by Seattle, Auburn, Washington. It's like in the Seattle area, and he played in a Beatles cover band. When I was younger, I remember spending a summer with him and watching his band practice. But I couldn't go in the bar to watch him play. But I remember going to there where they jammed out at and watching them practice. And they just played Beatles songs. And he's got a couple songs on YouTube. Maybe I'll share them one of these days. He does Beatles songs and Elvis, he did Beatles, Elvis, Rolling Stones. Like he loved all that stuff. And then my other uncle, who I spent more time with, he plays music too, but he was way into like Deep Purple was his favorite band. He loves Richie Blackmore and Rainbow, Deep Purple. Uh, those were like his favorite. But he loved Pink Floyd. Like he used to put on Pink Floyd Echoes. Like he would stay with us sometimes when he didn't have a place to stay. And yeah, he was a fun uncle, but he was fun sometimes when he wasn't too. Uncle Kelly, I love you too if you heard. I'm not gonna tell any personal stories, but yeah, he was a fun uncle, and but yeah, and who else did he like? Jimi Hendrix and yeah, Thin Lizzy, he loved Thin Lizzy, Captain Beefheart, everything like he loved all the rock, but he loves country too. And then I grew up. My mom, I'll tell a little bit of some stories. So I grew up slim in Yakima, Washington, like in the hood. It's where my grandma owned a house. Like my dad, I don't know my dad. I never met my dad, but we lived in my grandma's house a lot growing up. Yeah, that's what my uncle did too. My uncle Kelly, he drinks. Both my uncles, Tim and Kelly, and my uncle Randy, but he's no longer here. Because I'm not gonna tell you, they all drink. Yeah, I don't drink. I'm like the only person in my family who doesn't drink. My brother was here. I don't think he drinks too much either, but he's, Anyway, I'm not gonna get into who does drink. So I'll just say my uncles drink, and they always have. So my uncle Tim, like last time he got in a wreck, he quit. I should say I said names. I'm not gonna say any names, and I say names. All right, I'll end that story. I'll end that story there. Slipping, I slipped. Okay, it's all right. Anyways, yeah, my uncles drink, and I don't drink. I've had the same bottle of whiskey in my kitchen for like 10 years. So it's funny. But if I ever get beers, like my friends come over and I'll just give them to them. But I never drink. Now, where's my story? Okay, so yeah, growing up, we lived at my grandma's house a lot, like in the hood, like straight across the street from Washington Middle School. Like it was ghetto. And then I lived in the trailer park too for a while. I lived in like grandma's house, basement, trailer parks, and then a lot of that time I grew up like my mom would take care of this guy who was a paraplegic. Like he's no longer here, but he was paralyzed from the neck down, except he could move his arms and his like waist kind of, but he couldn't move his fingers. And I don't know what vertebrae he broke exactly. Like he had a sledding accident when he was 19 years old. He broke his neck. And, yeah. He spent his whole life in a wheelchair after 19. And my mom would take care of him. And he was like, he's no longer here. I'm not going to drop his name, but he was a raging like alcoholic, like straight LTD whiskey, Canadian whiskey, like the cheapest. Like, and when I was like 5 years old, he would send me in the liquor store, and they knew him, and they would just give me the bottle of whiskey. I'd give them like a $20 bill. They'd give me the change, and I would bring it out there, and like every stop sign and stoplight, I would reach under the seat of the van because he would drive. Like he had the van rigged up where he could still drive. And like every time we hit a red light or a stop sign, he would tell me to reach under the seat and hand him the bottle of whiskey. And he would just chug the bottle of whiskey and then hand it back to me. And I'd close it up and put it back under the seat. And then when the bottle was empty, he would just have me chuck it out the window. Crazy. That was my childhood. I light cigarettes for him all day. I light him cigarettes and pour him shots of whiskey like all day. That was like my childhood. And he would listen to country music and he loved like Johnny Horton and his mom loved Marty Robbins. And so I had all that music stuck in my head too. Like, crazy music from when I was a kid. Just like hanging out with that guy, pouring him shots of whiskey and lighting him cigarettes and like it was fun until he got too many shots of whiskey. And he's no longer here. I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you the story. He had to like watch out because he had a wheelchair and like, he was pretty quick with it. So, but yeah, we listened to like a lot of like Johnny Horton was like I remember that album so much. I keep playing it all the time. Let me see what you're saying. I'm getting caught up on your conversation here, Slim. Sorry, I started rambling on. I want to read what you're saying. Yeah, exactly, Slim. Yeah. Yeah, I fought my brother a lot. I thought I knew how to fight at a young age from watching Rocky movies, but I actually learned how to fight when I was 14 years old. I started boxing and realized I didn't know how to fight pretty quickly. But I did learn how. So, but I did like fight with my brother a lot. But we'd watch like WWF wrestling and wrestle each other, and we would get in fist fights like in the neighborhood and stuff. But I remember I won my wrestling matches when I was like in second grade or whatever. But I just watched a lot of boxing matches till I was 14, and then I started training. But my mom would never let me fight until I was 17. I had my first fight because I had a couple concussions, seizures, like pretty bad. They were pretty bad. I don't know if I should have been fighting. I don't know. I felt fine. Like I fell off a trampoline and hurt I knocked like 6 years of memory out of my head. So my mom didn't want me boxing, but it all came back. I don't know. No one ever hit me as hard as I fell on the ground that day. So whatever. Yeah, that's like the trailer. When I lived in the trailer park, the way before I knew how to fight, I was just like 9 years old, and like it didn't matter how old you were. If you were on the basketball court, like there was 40-year-old guys with no teeth, like cussing you out, and, like trying to fight you, and I remember me and my brother were just talking about this when he was visiting me, how we would get punched and stuff playing basketball. And I told him, I think I said it on YouTube too, that I was singing the Def Leppard songs that my the guy in the trailer next to me, my buddy's friend, he had the Def Leppard cassettes, and we were listening to Def Leppard. And I was like, the kids that beat us up were listening to Metallica. I was listening to Def Leppard getting beat up by the kids listening to Metallica. But I was young. I was only 9 years old when I lived in the trailer park, and I would be like trying to play basketball with the grown men and my brother, because my brother was a really good athlete. He could play basketball and football since he was like little, he just good. He got washed up early though. Like he did play he even played semi-pro football. So he was a quarterback. We both played flag football. I'll show you my. All right, now I'm really bragging. Be back. All right. Not really bragging. Yeah, the year before I moved to Eugene, Slim. We were playing flag football, me and my brother. He went on to play a year of semi-pro football. He won the offensive MVP that year. I won the defensive MVP. Yakima flag football. But yeah, this is when I was like 23 or 24. We were playing flag football right before I moved. That was the only reason I didn't want to move out of Yakima, was because I didn't want to leave my flag football team. I had a lot of fun, but I would have I was hurting myself all the time. It was crazy. It was the most nuts league ever because it was flag football, but it was full contact, and it was just chaos and like cussing and fighting. We got in brawls. I got in a big brawl there. A big brawl. Yeah, a big brawl. Playing flag football. But that was nothing. That would happen every season. But one time I was like the main. Not that I didn't start it, but I was like the guy everyone remembers in the brawl. Just put it that way. Southside Ghetto in. Were you born in? Well, you don't need to give out too much personal information either. So those aren't iguanas, Slim. So this is something I get a lot. Everyone calls them iguanas. I've been explaining this too since day one in my channel. It's really like no one seems to understand this. I'll explain. Let me turn this music down. Now we're gonna have a conversation. Now you just sparked a conversation. So this is what I've been trying to explain since let me grab a lizard. So here we go. Yeah, so I started doing this when my family left, maybe a year after they left. This was my bedroom, and I turned it into this room of a madman. So this is what you're thinking looks like an iguana, Slim. And it does look like an iguana. Totally not related to an iguana. This is an agamid. So this is a Chinese water dragon. It's in the agamid family of lizard. An iguana is its own family of lizard. That's why you have those like marine iguanas, rock iguanas. Most of the iguanas come from South America, and they're a New World. Most of them are New World species. You do have like the marine iguanas and some rock iguanas that are Old World species, but most of the iguanas, like the Florida and all those like rock iguanas, spiny-tailed iguanas, chuckwallas, those are all in the iguana family, and they're a New World species. So these are water dragons. These are Old World species. So these are Asian lizards. So they're not totally unrelated to an iguana. Even though it looks like an iguana, this looks nothing like an iguana. But it does look a little bit like a chuckwalla, which is related to an iguana. But this is a bearded dragon. So it's in the agamid family. So these two lizards are in the same family. Even though this one is from like Vietnam. It's called the Chinese water dragon. Paulette, make a love shout out. Happy Valentine's Day, Paulette. Nice to see you. Awesome. Thank you for coming, Paulette. And so an agamid is an Old World species. And all my lizards are in the agamid family. So this is a bearded dragon. This is a Chinese water dragon. And then the one up there with the fin on the tail is a sailfin dragon. And he's from an island called Sulawesi in Indonesia. And he's endemic to that island. He's only from that one island. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much, Paulette. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for stopping by. I will check out your live streams when I see you. I actually did see you live, and I should have stopped by and said hello. But I was, I've been not spending as much time on the internet lately, and I've been watching people, but trying to like do things while I watch and support people. And I can't. It's hard to always chat when I'm get things done. But anyway, so they're not even related to iguanas. These are. Yeah, I saw Nicole's bearded dragon. So a bearded dragon is from Australia. The sailfin dragon is from Indonesia. He is from. This is almost like the iguana of Asia because they are invasive. Like iguanas are like the green iguana is invasive in Florida. These guys are invasive. There's more of these invasive in Hong Kong than I think they are in China. You know, they're called Chinese water dragon. But Hong Kong might actually be China. I'm learning. I don't know exactly how that works. Is it Japan? But anyways, there's a lot of these in Vietnam. They used to get imported from Vietnam. You used to see them in pet stores. They stopped importing them, so yeah, they're not as easy to find as they used to be. Like bearded dragons are bred all over for their colors and different things, but there's no morphs in the Chinese water dragon. There are no morphs in the sailfin dragon either. Oh, whoa, there he goes. No one heard us. I'm just gonna sit him down. All right. So, yeah, it's totally unrelated to an iguana. It's an agamid. It's related to the bearded dragon. They're both in the agamid family, and so is the sailfin dragon, and so is like a frill dragon. I don't know if you've seen that Australian lizard with the frill in the neck. They copied it on Jurassic Park. They made the raptor have the frill. Those are an agamid too. Like I'm not getting any more lizards. I stopped getting lizards because I do want to be able to travel, and so I've actually gotten rid of some, and yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, when I started this, like I said, I wasn't planning on traveling, but my ideas have changed, and I'm not traveling anytime soon. I don't have any plans to travel, but I'd like to make it so I can get away from the house because right now I'm kind of stuck here because I can't leave these guys and my dogs and everyone even for a night, let alone like go on an actual vacation. Yeah. So there are no morphs in the Chinese water dragon or the self-fin dragon, and those were both imported lizards actually. Where this is bred. You know, there's nothing imported out of Australia anymore. They don't import animals out of Australia. There's only Indonesia is they really import a lot of animals out of Indonesia, and so yeah, even though he's from Australia, he was bred in America. They breed a lot of these in America. They don't import them out of, and they just stopped importing the Chinese water dragons when I started getting into this maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. They stopped importing those. Um, and the self-in dragon, I don't think they'll be imported for much longer. I don't know. I would like to have a male, I guess, self-in dragon, so I could possibly breed her. She's a really cool lizard, and, but that would be the only thing that I would, you know. But I'm like I said, I'm not trying to get any more animals. I'd like to lighten my load. But I do have a couple babies in here too that I did breed. I did breed, quite a few babies, but it would kind of killed it for me too. I had a bunch of eggs and I couldn't incubate them. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I messed up my eggs, but I hatched a bunch of babies actually in this room. So. Yeah, I saw the iguanas falling out of the trees, Slim. I had an iguana when I was little. I liked iguanas, but when I got a Chinese water dragon, and I just realized the iguanas, like the bearded dragon, they just make better pets. The self-in dragon is not tame at all, but I have been holding her lately, and I could actually pick her up and probably bring her on the camera. I probably want to put some long sleeves shirts on because this guy, even though he has long nails, and the same with the water dragon, he won't bite me. Even though he's got those long nails. I know he won't bite me. I mean, he won't scratch me. He doesn't use his nails to scratch me at all. For the self-in dragon, if I picked her up, I would definitely get scratched. Probably, definitely, probably. Two words that shouldn't go together. Yeah, I've had lots of eggs, Slim, but I've only hatched like 11 babies in here but I didn't even hatch those myself. My incubator I never was able. Maybe there's something wrong with my incubator. I don't know. But the babies I did hatch, I found in here, and then I lost a female, so I only have one female and two males. So, but I do have another female in here but she's just a baby, so I can't breed her. So, and then the one male, he doesn't even get along with the females. I have the male that was down here that I'm holding, and my female get along great. But the male that hangs out with the self-in dragon, he doesn't like the female water dragon. So, I have like a pair of breeding adult water dragons that have produced babies, and I have another male, and then I have a baby male and a baby female that are still like a year away, probably maybe even two before they can breed. And then yeah, I'm not interested in really breeding bearded dragons because a lot of people breed them for money or whatever because of the morphs and different colors. But I was more into keeping bloodlines alive. If I could get another Sulawesi Hydrosaurus microlophus southern locale, the same phenotype, I would try to breed them just to have like a pure bloodline of that species. I'm not into trying to create morphs or what do they call that? When you crossbreed. Man, I used to know all this stuff so much I could just talk about it forever. Now I got to think of what the simplest things are called. That when you, I used to do it with plants all the time. Crossbreed the. Anyway, so I could not breed a water dragon and a bearded dragon, obviously, but in the genus Hydrosaurus, the self-fin dragon, there's 5 different species of self-fin dragon in the genus Hydrosaurus, and you can crossbreed those and make a hybrid. That's the word I was looking for. You can hybridize the species, the self-fin dragon. So I'm not into that. I would only breed that if I could get another Sulawesi, southern locale, same phenotype. You know, is the only way I would want to breed that lizard. I wouldn't want to breed it. So what's cool about the self-fin dragons, and this is something else I wanted to get into, was so there's 5 species of self-fin dragon in the genus Hydrosaurus. There's 4 in Indonesia. There's 2 from the island Sulawesi, where that one comes from. And then that lizard right there, you can even break up into 2 phenotypes, because that's a Hydrosaurus microlophus, but there's a southern locale and a northern locale. And there's also Hydrosaurus celebensis on the same island, Sulawesi. So those are 2 of the species of Hydrosaurus microlophus. So there's Hydrosaurus microlophus, Hydrosaurus celebensis. That's 2 of the species of self-fin dragon. Then there's an island called the Ambon Islands. So there's the Ambonensis self-fin dragon. And then there is an island called, I got to remember this one. The Weber self-fin dragon comes from an island called, it's another Indonesian island, Halmahera. So the Halmahera self-fin dragon is the Weber self-fin dragon. So those are 4 of the species of self-fin dragon, and they're all from Indonesia. But the 5th species is from the Philippines, which is really cool. So when I go to the Philippines, if I have my YouTube channel, I would like to go and film wild Hydrosaurus pustullatus is the genus that is is the species that is in the Philippines, and that one's really cool. It's a purple. That's the only one that's purple. They're all really cool in their own way. They're all different. This one was really cool. And if she was out in the sunlight, she would get like really blue eyes. I don't know if that will happen in here or not. But when they get to be adults, the ones from a lot of the adults will get blue eyes. But the ones from the Philippines have like purple, just really cool shine to them. The Hydrosaurus pustullatus. But nobody I've talked to from the Philippines has ever, been able to understand when I try to describe them, what I'm talking about. So I don't know. I know there's several different islands where you can find them in the Philippines. I looked that up. Yeah, there's iguanas all over the Caribbean and Mexico. Different in every island, the rock iguanas. Everyone's a different species. Like there's the rhino iguana, there's the Cuban rock iguana, and then if you go to the Galapagos, you got like the marine iguana, which is the only iguana that lives in the ocean, or like the saltwater one that they're on the beach too. They don't live in the ocean, but they swim in the ocean and eat. They eat seaweed from the ocean, and then chuckwalla is in the iguana family too, which is like a desert lizard. And then of course the green iguana is the one that you find a lot in Florida. The Fiji iguana is really cool. I think that's another old world species of iguana. Is Australia and Fiji I think that's old world, but the Fiji iguana is really cool. But we're not allowed to keep those as pets here. But you can keep them in Canada, which is really funny, even though they're like not imported from Fiji. And in Europe, they breed those. And in Canada, you can have them. But in Canada, we can have the rhino iguanas here, but they can't have those in Canada. It's weird, different laws, different what you can have and what you can't have. And then the laws are changing a lot in Florida. They keep like tegus is something everyone used to have. Like they outlawed tegus in a lot of places, and But I like the agamans. Like there's they're really friendly. There's no nothing like they don't get big or scary. They eat bugs. That's another difference between them and iguanas. Iguanas, for the most part, are vegetarians. But these guys will eat I fed them bananas a little bit ago, and they'll eat leafy greens, but they really love bugs. That's what they like to eat. worms and roaches and crickets. All right, I'm gonna put this guy away. So yeah, that's a little bit about the. I don't know if anyone's. I'll still get asked that, and they'll be called iguanas for as long as I have this channel. So, but yeah, not iguanas, agamids. And then so like to go into families of lizards. So I don't know if you're keeping up with this, Slim. So this is an agamid. I looked it up how many agamids there are. Maybe like there's a lot of different agamids. Geckos had the most. There's like so many species of geckos. Monitors had like 80 something different species. I think agamids maybe like 700 different species. Like geckos were like 1,500 different species of geckos. Iguanas were like 40 something different species of iguanas, I think. And then there's tegus, there's swifts, there's skinks, there's so these are their own families, like, and yeah, so that's how it works with the iguanas and the agamids. They're like their own family of lizard. That is, and it doesn't necessarily mean where they come from. It's just what they are. There's iguanas from the old world and the new world, but most iguanas that we see are New World species, and most agamids, if not all agamids, are Old World species. I don't know of any New World agamids. I don't know. I can't think of any. But anything from Africa, Asia. I don't know if Australia is considered Old World or not, but it should be for sure. So, and Asia, yeah, yeah, all these are Old World species. In Europe's considered Old World too, I think. So oh, that's another one. Lacerdas. Lacerdas are like the European lizards. They can survive really cold temperatures, and they're pretty cool. Like Lacerdas, that's another family of lizard. And there's a lot of families, and then each family, like I said, could have like thousands of. So at least the geckos have thousands of different species, like 1,500 different species. So most of them could have hundreds of different species. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I've never had snakes either, Slim. Except for when I was a kid, I used to go outside and catch snakes or whatever. But no, I never never got a snake. Just lizards. But I've had a lot of different lizards even before I built this room when I was younger. I had an iguana and a water dragon before I built this room. And I had a monitor lizard, but I wouldn't recommend that unless you have you're in Florida. Maybe you could keep it outside. But they can make good pets, I'm sure. If you, for myself, I don't know. I don't recommend whatever. Don't matter. I'm not recommending anything for anybody to do. Do what you want to do, but yeah, for me, I'm glad that I like agamids. That's what I think. They make great pets. They like this other one that wanted down. He hasn't moved since I set him down. He's just been chilling. They're a lot cleaner than iguanas. Even though they're harder to feed than iguanas because iguanas you can feed fruit. That's what's cool about my tortoise. My tortoise is destructive though, but these guys they don't really destroy anything. They're I can set up the room and they'll just keep everything the way it is. They chill and they poop in their water, so there's never poop anywhere. Iguanas, they'll poop on your stuff. These things won't do that. They won't poop on your stuff. They will just Donk might, but he's over there and he doesn't. But these guys always poop in their water, so I just change their water and then everything's clean. They never poop outside of their water. Never. So there's never lizard turds around here. Geckos and iguanas will poop on your stuff. These guys, they won't do that. They're really are the best pet lizard, I think. The agamid family. The self-in dragon, he's a whole different story. If I could put that lizard back in the jungle today, I would do that. I would be so happy if I could take him back where he was from and put him back there. But she's doing better. I call him he. She is getting a lot more tame, and it's just that she doesn't just chill like these. I mean, she's chilling right now. But if she wants to, she could She could get anywhere a lot faster than these guys. She's faster, stronger, everything. She's pretty unbelievable, and she can run in water like a basilisk. So that's another species of lizard, basilisk. The self-fin dragon is almost like an old world basilisk. The basilisk is a new world species, but they have the fin on the tail, and a self-fin dragon and a basilisk can both run on water, even though one is an old world species and one's a new world species. Like I said, that's like almost like an old world iguana. Uh, that's almost like an old world basilisk. I want to pick her up and bring her on the camera, but I don't want to stress her out, and I don't want to get stressed. I don't want to get scratched up. One of the reasons she's not tame is because I never wanted to hold her, because you see a lot of self-fin dragons that are like damaged, their tails are broke, or their faces are messed up, and like if I go to try, like I don't want to stress her out or like risk her. Like she's in perfect condition, so I don't want to risk like damaging anything on her. And so I just don't really hold her. But she's getting a lot more tame. Like she's starting to like understand that I bring her food. She will come get the food out of my hand quickly. So I bring her food. The salmonella thing. I think I'm more likely to get it from the tortoise. I wash my hands before I eat. I think that's a lot of. You know how they fooled us with the. They like to say things that'll get you sick. They won't actually get you sick a lot of times. So slim. There's a lot of that in the '80s. They don't talk about it as much these days because you're not really going to get that from holding these lizards. Even though you might look it up and you might see that information. There's a lot of things that just aren't true out there. But things do carry salmonella, especially the turtle you're more likely to get it from, I think. But it's not like all reptiles carry salmonella. And you're not likely to get it from reptiles either, like they say. Yeah. No. It's not really a concern. But, they do. I think it's mostly turtles or snakes. I don't know which one it is. But not so much lizards. And as long as you wash your hands when you're done holding them, you'll be good. And even then, I don't think you're gonna get salmonella from these guys at all. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a bunch of I don't want to say the word, but fool me once, shame on you, or shame on me. I said it like George W. I said it just like him, huh? Funny. Yeah, anyways. Not gonna fool me again. The worst though, my iguana bit me on the neck because I used to take it outside and let it run around, and then it was just gone one day. I couldn't find it, and I heard like a ruckus in the neighbor's yard, so I ran over there, and a cat like had it cornered. I just instantly grabbed it and put it on my shoulder, and it bit me in the neck because it was fighting with the cat, and it left like a couple bite marks on my neck, but it was nothing like I wasn't worried about it. But my mom made me go get a tetanus shot, and like I was like, there was no reason. There was no danger of me getting anything from that iguana bite. You don't get anything from iguana bites. So, and even when she took me to the doctor, I remember him saying, like, if you get bit by an iguana in the Philippines, it's a death sentence. They don't even have iguanas in the Philippines. The doctor didn't know what he was talking about. He gave me a tetanus shot, and they're all full of crap. And I wish I would have never got that tetanus shot. It did, I guarantee, more damage than the iguana bite did to my body. So, whatever. That's another story. When I got bit by an iguana. Yeah, exactly. Raw chicken will get you sick. Or eating fast food will probably get you sick faster than these. Notice that Jack in the Box was getting everybody sick. That's what I always remember. And then spinach was getting everybody sick. I never got sick from any of that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like little. That's what these guys. These actually have different teeth than iguanas too. They actually have a couple little teeth, but yes, yeah, it's like razor blades more than like it's not fangs. They don't have canines. Not like a cat or a dog. Cat or a dog was a way worse bite than a lizard bite. But then they were saying that the bite in the monitors is so nasty, like the Komodo dragons, that it's like they would kill you if they bit you because maybe that's what that doctor was getting confused with because I heard that a lot. But now they're saying there's actually like a venom in the Komodo dragon. Like who knows? I think most people will survive a Komodo dragon bite. I could be wrong, but they say that those things will bite like a deer, and then the deer will get sick and they'll track it down and then kill it because they have like. I remember I used to watch like Discovery Channel, and I remember that what he said was like 100 times more powerful than morphine. It was like the saliva inside of a Komodo dragon, and that would kill you if you got bit by one. I don't believe it, really. Hey, happy Valentine's Day show. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I was just showing off my the year I moved out of Yakima. I won the you can see that says Yakima on it. Yakima flag football defensive MVP 2003. That was the year I moved to Eugene, Oregon. But I don't know if you know anything about the Yakima flag football team. That was like the craziest. But I enjoyed it so much. I loved it so much. But looking back on it, it was just complete unorganized chaos. Grown men, just trying to hurt each other, basically. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. You know, I have a couple trophies that I don't even know where they're at anymore. But yeah, that was the one I brought with me. So that's cool. Don't have a lot of things like that. You know, my daughter's got a whole like bunch of swim trophies. She likes swim, but she's done now. She's swam her last swim meet, I guess. She's a lifeguard right now in Washington. That's what she does. She's only 17, but she's working. She has a job as a lifeguard. They pay her like pretty decent. I remember when I used to work in high school, I was like making like $4.90 an hour. I think they started me out at $4.90 an hour. So I have a couple boxing trophies, but I don't have them anymore, Slim. They're not here. So I've either left them at my friend's house or I don't even know where they're at. I lost a lot of stuff when I moved to Eugene. I had a lot of stuff at a friend's house, and I think they sold that house. I don't think they kept my stuff for me. I didn't go back and get anything. Nice. That's awesome, Slim. Awesome, Slim. Yeah, I never. I had some boxing matches when I was like from 17 till 20. Those 3 years I boxed. Um, and then after that, I never like quit going to the gym. I always went to the gym and sparred, and I boxed in like what you call like smoker tournaments or whatever. A couple of those things, but they weren't like amateur boxing matches. They were just like one of them was put on by like a church, and then yeah, it was those things. But I trained Muay Thai when not until I was like in my I think I was already 30s when I started for sure, and then I only stopped when I broke my thumb, like the year my family, I got it. I stayed with it even when I was in my later years, but I never boxed or fought any Muay Thai fights. I could have. My coach was like, he was Chael Sonnen. Like Chael Sonnen, he trained Chael Sonnen for his first fight. There's a story of Chael Sonnen talking about Mike Walrath. He passed away. Rest in peace, Mike Walrath. But he was my Muay Thai coach, Bigfoot Gym in Eugene, Oregon. And Chael Sonnen tells a story about so this guy Mike Walrath, and it was just like he's the kind of he was such a class. It's so awesome, man. Love Mike Walrath. But Chael Sonnen talks about he took him to a fist fight, and that's like I could have fought anytime I wanted to with that guy as my coach. He would take guys to the fairgrounds here, and they would fight. This big guy, big Jimmy, we got Jimmy Jeanette. It's spelled like Jimmy Jeanette or Jimmy Jeanette. Guy looks like Brock Lesnar. He used to train at the gym, and he would fight at this fairgrounds here all the time. And he fought like one of those bare knuckle pay-per-views, and he beat that guy Tony the Tiger Lopez, or it's a pretty like well-known fighter. Or maybe it was a draw. He either beat him or it was a draw. I don't remember. But I used to train with that guy all the time. He was funny. If you're watching this, Jimmy, I like you, bro. But I'll be throwing my left hooks. Before I like shoulder was sore. Like, I'm like working out a lot, but I can't throw my left hook like I used to. Like it was money. And I would train with that guy, and he'd be like, I want to feel those hooks. He would want to spar with me all the time. I'd be like, Jimmy, you're a freaking animal, dude. Like, I'm just here for fun. I want to feel those left hooks. He'd want me to like spar with him so he could feel my left hooks. He would just hit me with a jab, and I'd be like, Jimmy, you got a baby at home. I'm trying to spar with you. You're going to fight next week. But he was cool. Jimmy Jeanette. He's still cool. What's that? I need to go back to Bigfoot Gym and see what those guys are up to. I haven't been there in years. But I always went to the gym my whole life. But I haven't fought since I was 20 years old, unless you include like the smoker tournaments, which maybe I was 25 or something, 24. One of them was still in Yakima. But I used to spar like I used to go to so I live in Eugene, and my boxing coach would take me to Albany and spar. And I spar with this professional boxer there, but he was way smaller than me. And it was kind of a weird thing where like I was like, okay, this guy's hitting me hard, but I feel like if I really hit him hard, it's not fair because he was so much smaller than me. But it was like even though he was good and he was a pro, I still was like holding back, and I shouldn't have been because I was just setting myself up to get punched a lot. Can't hold back with guys like that. And the reason they put me in there with him is because they had a heavyweight, and like we went there to spar, and like I went to spar their heavyweight, but before I sparred him, they threw these two kids in there, and the kid from our gym just got walloped like so hard. He was like crying, like he had tears in his eyes and like a bloody nose. So like then they put me in there with that guy, and I was just like, okay, so I didn't hold back at all on that guy, and I kind of did to him what they did to our kid, and then they were like, well, let him spar like Julio or whatever the guy's name was, and they had his posters all over the gym, and I was like, all right, and I just got done sparring that guy, but whatever. He didn't hurt me or anything, but he did give me a bloody nose, and I felt like the body shots, but I really didn't want to hit that guy that hard because I was like, he was seriously half my size, and I just messed up the guy before that, so I was like feeling kind of bad about it. Wow. Awesome, Slim. That's good. Yeah, I would fight today if there was like some money, if someone would pay me. I just don't know. Like, I don't get that involved in like, but I see all these people doing like YouTube boxing matches and like people that aren't even boxers like boxing each other for money. I'm like, geez. If someone wanted to box me, I was like, let's go for it. I'm in good enough shape. I haven't taken too much damage. I'm ready. Let's go. Muay Thai, I don't know about that. I don't know how I would do, but boxing, I would box somebody in a heartbeat for money. Not for no reason. But I would box somebody for money today, for sure. I didn't care about boxing anybody for money when I was younger. I would just make money, and I didn't want to get fight for money. But now I would fight for money. But now I'm too old. I'm 40. I'll tell you how old I am. I'm going to be 48 in March. That's next month. I'm not young, but I don't care. It's just a number. I feel great. Right on, Cheryl. Another reason I didn't box. Like my coach in Yakima too. I was an open fighter before my. You have like 10 novice fights before you're an open amateur fighter. But my boxing coach, he always threw the Northwest Golden Gloves boxing tournament in Yakima, Washington at the YVC. Charles Esparza, rest in peace, Charles Esparza too. Another great coach. I had great coaches, Slim. Mike Walrath and Charles Esparza were two great coaches that I was lucky to have. I don't know if you ever heard of Joe the Boss Hip. That wasn't his coach, but he would go to that gym sometimes, ringside gym. Anyways, I don't know who Joe's coach like full time was. Probably went through about a bunch of them, but he would go to ringside sometimes, and I would see him at those Golden Gloves tournaments. He would be there sometimes. Then I would go watch him box at the Sun Dome at the Legends Casino. But I think I saw him at Legends one time. Definitely saw him at the Sun Dome a few times. But anyways, back to my story. I get sidetracked. Where am I going? Oh, so he opened me after like only a few amateur fights. I was an open fighter because I wanted to fight this guy who was in my hometown, Scott Summers, who was like a national champion. And I saw him on the news that week, and I told my coach I wanted to fight him, and he just laughed, and he's like, "All right," and he made me an open fighter so I could fight anybody in the tournament. And then they scheduled me to fight that guy, Scott Summers. Have you ever heard of Scott Summers, Slim? They scheduled me to fight Scott Summers. And I saw the guy on the weigh-in, and he looked like he was probably going to mess me up pretty bad because I was pretty out of shape back then. I was like really out of shape, but I was still boxing. I would go weigh in just like I remember eating like Burger King because I like. Well, I'll tell the whole story. So, I was supposed to box that guy Scott Summers. He was at the weigh-ins. I saw him. He was big. He was scary looking. He was way older than me, way bigger than me. Was on the news. Like this guy this other boxer I was talking to was like, "Oh yeah, he's really good." He was telling me he saw him box. He's all, "You'll be all right, man." Trying to like encourage me. And anyways, he pulled out of the fight that same day. It was his son's birthday, and he didn't want to fight. I don't know if he was intimidated by me. I mean, I looked pretty big, but I was like, I was just moving up from novice to fight this guy who was like way more experienced and way bigger, just because I said I wanted to fight him. And anyways, he pulled out of the fight. It was his son's birthday, and I ended up boxing somebody else that night. It wasn't Scott Summers, but that's how I became an open fighter. So then after that, I would always box like at that tournament, but I was like, I don't know, I wasn't really experienced as those guys, but yeah, whatever. It was fun. I had my last fight when I was 20 years old at YVC. At YVC, is that at Yakima Valley Community College? Is that the one? Hope I'm getting it right because I'm in Eugene, so I'm supposed to get the abbreviations mixed up. It was the Yakima Valley Community College at my last match. The day before my 21st birthday, I think. The day before, I never cut my hair again after that either. I never boxed again. Never cut my hair. That was it. You can tell that fight didn't go well. Like I said, I was out of shape. '97. That's when I was boxing, Slim. '97, '98. I was still in. Yeah, I remember I was boxing when I was still in high school. Everyone else was playing football. I didn't play football. My brother was a football player. I played flag football, but my brother was a quarterback. But I won't tell you my brother's personal story. He's a good quarterback, good football player. Love you, Mike. And he'll be here. He'll be back here. He's been visiting me a lot lately, which is great. I miss him. But also, it's good that we're far apart because he has nothing like me. And but wouldn't be surprised if he's here spending more time with me in the future. Buddy Eddie. Eddie what? 90s commercial, the big bad man. I'll have to look up the commercial and see if I recognize it. See if it rings a bell, Slim. Maybe if you can find the commercial, send me a link to it or whatever. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Man, when I go to those tournaments too, Slim, we would go in there and we weigh in at like it seemed like 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I would be like the last fight because I was a heavyweight. I don't know why. I'd fight at like 9 o'clock that night, and it was like a whole day of just like trying to rest on bleachers and like yeah, I remember it was like a long, so waiting so long to fight. It's like all day long there. It was horrible. I couldn't just go home because I was like in the van with my coach and like me and a bunch of other kids. Like some people would, drive home or whatever, but me and a bunch of kids would just hang out at the college from the way in until we fought and watch all the other fights and eat the Burger King across the street. Not good. And the Burger King probably wouldn't have been that bad if I didn't wash it down with the soda. But I was like, just, I really got into taking care of myself and nutrition after I stopped boxing and lost a lot of weight. Where if I boxed now, I could probably get down to like, I wouldn't have to box at heavyweight. I always boxed at heavyweight. I could definitely get below heavyweight now easily. And I could have even like right when I like probably like a few years after I stopped boxing, but and I started taking care of myself and I was still going to the gym, but I just never. And a lot of times I would be like, oh, I'm going to fight this year, and then I just never would. Like a bunch of times I was going to box, and I would get my. That's what I always did my whole life. I would go to the gym, get myself in shape, and then I would stop going to the gym. Like, I've done that my whole life. Like, that's why when the winter came along, I was like, you know what, I'm going to stay in shape. I got myself in shape this summer, and I was like, I'm not going to stop working out this winter. I keep staying in shape. So, because I feel pretty, I was like, I didn't even know I could get myself back in shape because it was like 4 or 5 years. Like I broke my thumb 4 or 5 years ago, and then like a year of just sitting around the computer and like, I ride my bike, whatever. But yeah, I didn't know. And then the first few workouts were really short, but now I'm like pretty good shape now, feeling pretty good. I don't lift weights or take any type of like supplements. I've never taken like any type of replacement. I don't even take aspirin or Tylenol. Like I just try to eat good, and I feel great. I worked in a natural food store for a lot of years. For a lot of years, like when my daughter was born, I took like really good care of myself. Where I was like going to the gym and making juice and just eating organic food. And then when my son was born, I did the same thing. When my ex was pregnant with my son, I would jog to the gym, work out for 2 hours, jog home, and then go to work. And I was fine back then. And then like I don't know, when they all left, like I couldn't do anything for like 5 years. Like I couldn't even like tie my shoes. I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. Like I lost it like completely. And then yeah, just trying to get back together. Trying to get my life back together. Yeah, basically. Before I lose it all. Yeah, but I didn't look this way. If you would have saw me when I first started my live streams show, I was pretty chunky. And if you remember me in high school, I don't remember what I looked like when I knew you, because I wasn't born fat, but I was pretty fat for a lot of years. Even like when I was boxing, I would call myself fat. Shouldn't, definitely. I never got myself in shape for a boxing match. I would just box. Yeah, I'm below 200 pounds now, I believe. So last time I weighed myself was like the lightest I ever weighed myself. Since like there was one time when I was in Yakima that I weighed myself and I was like 195. And then I was at my friend's house the other day with clothes on. And I think I was less than that. So I don't know what I weigh today though. I've been eating a lot lately, so I might have put some pounds back on. But during the summertime when I was, I guess it was more than the other day. It was a while ago, but whenever it was in the summertime when I was working out in the heat towards the end of the summer, I was like, I think the lightest I've ever been, maybe my whole life. And then, and I could have like definitely lost weight still. I wasn't even trying to lose weight. Like if I was like gonna fight somebody, I could probably have like got down to 170 if I needed to. Maybe not, but definitely 185, no problem. Um, but when I was boxing, I would weigh in at like 260 pounds. I would go to the gym like 3 times a month, train, and then like, yeah, I'm ready. My coach was just like, he would just laugh, like, all right, you ready? I want to fight Scott Summers. He's laughing even harder. Okay. Yeah, I never. Yeah, I used to lift. I don't even lift weights, Slim. I tried to do some push-ups today, but I used to be able to do like 100 push-ups. Well, I don't know if you grade them as actual push-ups, but when I was playing flag football, I would try to start my day. I started out with like sets of 20, and then moved them up like 10 push-ups every day until I was doing like 100 push-ups. Then I stopped doing sets, and I would just do like I would get them all done at once, and I can't do that now, but I tried to do some push-ups today for the whole time I was doing my boxing workouts this summer. I didn't do anything else except those workouts, and so today I was going to do some push-ups, but I pulled a muscle on my left shoulder, so it makes it hard for me to do push-ups. But I want to do some. I want to do something like that. Um, but it's not easy right now. I've got like a pain in my yeah. It's hard for me to do push-ups right now because of a sore shoulder. So I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. I feel fine. Boxing's like a good workout. If I do the Muay Thai, it's a way better workout. Boxing's not really that balanced, but if I throw in the kicks and the elbows and everything, then it's I think it gets everything. I don't really need to do much else. Um, but the problem is like there's always something sore now. I guess I was that way when I was younger. Maybe I just didn't care because I do remember always hurting my thumbs and stuff when I was younger, but it didn't seem to matter. Still go to the gym, but now like I don't know, like I can't double jab or double hook like I used to. I think I need to take time off and just rest my shoulder longer because it is better than it was in the summertime, but still not like it used to be. And then now my right hand, I'm getting like it was tennis elbow, but my right elbow is a little sore today. Like nothing serious, but um, so yeah, it's like I threw my back out over the summer working out one time. So it's like um, I can't work out every day or my body will break down. But I get myself in shape. During the summertime, I was trying to, and I was feeling great, and that's when I was like in great shape. But yeah, my body can't keep up with that. If I threw more kicks and elbows, maybe, but it was like yeah, sore shoulder, and now it's sore elbow. It's always something a little sore. Nothing serious though. Nothing to like. It's just just, the shoulder would have been fine if I would have just stretched. I forget to stretch sometimes, and then the elbow I think needs a couple of days of rest. So everything's good. The back was nothing new. I do that doing other things besides working out. It just happened to happen while I was working out. You were over 300 pounds? Yeah. Yeah, it was the most I ever weighed myself slim was 281. And it was before one of my boxing matches. I weighed myself at 281. And that just shows you how unprepared I was and like never took it serious. But I still did it and I learned how to box. And, it's great. And I could fight today. I'm old. I'm not young, but I would, and I feel great. I don't feel like I can't. MK, make a love shout out, MK. I don't feel old. Other than like I feel like I wasted 5 years. Like I need to stop thinking about my past and like not that I have a bad past, just the last. It's not even like my breakup. My breakup used to bother me, but it's like the years I wasted after my breakup is the years that I'm just like I can't like. It used to be my kids that I was missing like every day, but now I'm just like I need to stop thinking about like, the last wasted 5 years of my life. Oh my gosh. I built this room, but I mean, like really, like, um, yeah, it's like I said, it really. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. But that's what I need to get over right now. Is just stop thinking about the last 5 years. And it wasn't even that bad. I feel by myself. Like, got everything I need, but yeah, it's what I used to have and what I don't have anymore is what hurts to think about. So I don't think about it. I won't think about it. Mama Dingo, make a love shout out. Nice to see you. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Jim K, happy Valentine's Day. Mommy Dingo, happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by. Yeah, it is. Have you ever been here, Mommy Dingo? You want to see some stuff? Show what this room is. Oh, where did the Selfie Dragon go? I don't even see her. Oh, she's up here now. I don't know if you can see her. You might not be able to see her anymore. He went over there too. Yeah, we'll go on the other side. These guys all want to go to bed. They're all getting ready for bed. He's gone. Oh, thanks. Yeah, like I was telling Slim, I didn't think I was going to be traveling, so I kind of built this room. I'm not saying it was the best idea, and it wasn't like the. And if I would go back and, the thing is, like, I would have never met all of you. This is how I met everybody. Was building this room and starting my YouTube channel, and then I'll tell the story. I don't know if I ever told you the story, Slim, but it's been like almost a year. I don't know if you remember last Valentine's Day, Slim. I'll never forget it. Team International was singing all day. Thank you, MK. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's a lot of lizards that live in here. They're all in the Agamen family, which is the dragon. So that's why I called myself Enter the Dragon's Lair. So this is the dragon's lair, and those are the dragons. I'm not the dragon, even though everyone calls me the dragon. That was never how this was supposed to go. But I was watching lizard videos, and that's how I met Team International, because Julie posted a video of Australian water dragon, and I commented on those videos, and then somehow I started watching karaoke through that, and then my channel started growing, and so I went less, lizard content, just more into singing karaoke, because that's what my channel became. I was just having a good time meeting everybody, and I wasn't getting a lot of comments or meeting anybody through my lizard channel, and I was trying to. There was people that I would watch their channels and try to connect, and they wouldn't really talk to me too much. And then the karaoke community was like really supportive and friendly, and I just really enjoyed everybody watching. I was just enjoying myself even without the all the comments and my channel growing. I was just enjoying watching everybody sing and meeting everybody, and yeah, so that's how I started singing karaoke. Was just starting this YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah, it's great. And then through that, I met other karaoke communities. So now I know, like, man, it seems like I feel like I know everybody, but I don't. At the same time, there's so many people that I know personally, and then there's people that I see in the chat that I should know that I don't know. And it's hard to know everybody. But yeah, I'm trying to do a better job of communicating with my audience. Like, I don't think I'm great at that at all. I sing a lot of songs and work out, but that's kind of what I was trying to do here. But even now, I'm doing a really bad job at reading the comments. I start talking, and then I need to stop and read everything. Yeah, I definitely need to stretch, Slim. That's what I'm trying to do, Slim. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just focus on the future, or even the present. The future is even hard to focus on, because someone said it. I don't know who it was, but like, if you think on the past, it kind of makes you sad. If you think about the future, it makes you anxious. So you kind of just stay in the present. But maybe that's what I was. I don't know if that's thinking about the future is a good thing, but yeah, it does kind of make you anxious if you think about the future, and like so many things you can think about that are never gonna be the way you think that they're gonna be. So it's kind of good not to have too many expectations and just live in the moment. But I guess it depends on what you want. There's some things you need to focus and plan for sure. Hey, thanks, Slim. I didn't know how everyone felt about me last year because I was so clueless when I started watching Team International last Valentine's Day, and I didn't know if I had like offended anybody because I didn't realize, that I was such an outsider and that you guys were all doing like you. I was just watching YouTube videos like I watched any other YouTube video, and then I was like really enjoying the karaoke, watching it, and then I didn't even know what I like had commented like so much and like left so many emojis, and I was like, and then it clicked on me that like, wow, some of you are like, some people are together, I was like, oh wow, I think this person are together. I'm like, I hope I didn't offend this person or like that person. So I didn't know how everyone felt about me, and yeah, it was great that you guys voted me on the team and asked me to join the team because I wanted to be on the team. Like you guys, I watched a lot of karaoke and Team International was like the team I wanted to be on. Yeah, I love watching all of you guys. I had a great time watching you guys sing. Really just enjoyed myself. I couldn't believe how much fun I was having, like watching you guys sing last year. Really, it blew me away. I would think about it. I was like, oh man, I hope they're on. I would like check to see if anybody was singing on Team International. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I learned so I wouldn't be the. That's what it is. I wish I had the things that I had, but I'm glad that I learned the lessons because I'm not going to repeat those things, and I'm a better person. As far as maybe I was a better person back then, but there's mistakes I made that I'm not going to make again because you know, I'm not going to put myself in that position again. To where I don't think so anyway. I hope not. But it was kind of out of my control too, Slim. We all went through a crazy time. Like I broke up. My breakup was during the pandemic, and not to make excuses, I could have done better to keep us all together, but I was like kind of shut out. Like my voice wasn't uh, didn't matter at that time. Like I went from being the person that everyone listened to being like uh, my ideas were like shouldn't even be spoken, let alone like listened to. You know what I mean? So it was tough. It was tough. That's all I can say. Yeah, I know. I'm banned from Messenger for life. I'm banned from Facebook for life. I really didn't do anything. I lost an appeal, and once you lose the appeal, they ban you for life. And yeah, I'm lost. I'm banned for life. They won't let me back on there. I tried like so hard to get back on there, Slim. Like, and I promised people I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll be on there. I'm gonna get on there tomorrow, and I spend the whole day like, and then it's like, no, you're banned. They would tell me at the end of everything like, you're banned, and I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Mommy didn't go. Like I said, I don't know whose mistake. I don't know. I do know that there's things in the past that I'm not going to do again. That, like I said, I don't know if like my family's not here because necessarily because of me or because of what was going on in the world, but you know, I think I could have done better. And like, yeah, if I could go back, I definitely would have done things differently, but I can't. So whatever. What can we do? And I'm glad that I'm glad that I'm single. I'm glad that I'm like, I'm, I miss my kids. That's all. I'm glad that I'm not with my ex. Put it that way. I'm glad that me and her are not together. So I am glad for that. But I do miss my kids. But I don't miss her at all. Trying to think about her, and I'm glad that we're not together. So that's good. I never, was too worried about that. I just didn't want my kids to leave. My children. They're not animals. They're children. My children. Yeah, but until 2021, uh, it wasn't really going to happen. That was when everything changed. In 2009, maybe it was 2019. It was, yeah, before, yeah, it was 2019 when everything changed. But I think she actually left in 2021, so those 2 years of not good years. But yeah, I'm not getting too into personal stuff, right? I just did that, so it is what it is. You know, I'm happy. I'm not like nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm good. I can travel. I'm free. I just yeah, it's not the way things aren't what they used to be. For me, like life used to be a lot easier as far as like just being able to do whatever I wanted. And it seems like I should be able to do that now because I'm single. And but like I said, it was the years after they left that I wasted that is painful to think about now. 5 years of me like yeah, uh, yeah, just letting not doing what I should have been doing the last 5 years. Not that I did anything like bad. I just didn't do anything that great either. Where before that I was doing a lot, doing a whole like a really lot for a long time. 5 years of me just like not knowing what to do. Not knowing what to do and not doing it. I don't know. Whatever it is. Thanks, Mommy Dingo. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks, Slim. I know, not doing anything too rational, but yeah, I don't know if I do anything too rational, but I have an idea in my head. I have kind of a plan, you know, a couple plans. We'll see what happens. WhatsApp. That's when I'm going to try WhatsApp because I'm not banned from WhatsApp, so I can get on there for sure. I just know everyone's on Facebook. I got to be careful with these metal glasses and the sunglasses. I didn't know what happened to my favorite pair of sunglasses. They were like all chipped up. I realized it's when I take a drink. I will actually hope I didn't do it with these ones. I will actually hit the sunglasses and it leaves a mark on them. So like one pair, like one day, I just like every time I would do that, I would leave a mark on my sunglasses, and I completely ruined like my favorite pair of sunglasses. Yeah, thanks, Mommy Dingo. Good advice. Good advice. Next time I make a big move, I'm gonna plan, which I'm already planning right now. But you know, yeah, the show make some big moves. I will ask him. Are you still here, show? Yeah, I'm gonna try to WhatsApp Slim for sure. Yeah. So okay. So Slim wants to. I think what Slim wants to ask me about making being 100% sure before you make a life changing move. I think that's the question. Slim said just ask show. Said just ask show, but I think that would be the question that I'm supposed to ask you. Show is yeah, what um, is to make sure I know what. Let me make sure I get this. Uh, just make sure everything is 100% before you make life moving changes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then later on it says just ask show. So I don't know if that's the question that I'm supposed to ask you, but I think so. And yeah, I think I know what you mean, Slim. Definitely. Um, but when I leave, it's not just for one reason or anything like that. If it's not like if I go somewhere to like try to find something and it's not what I'm looking for, it's not like there's there's a lot of things I want to do. Not just one thing. So I think I'll be all right as long as like I said, plan. And like yeah, I still have to be 100% sure of what I'm doing, but I think when I do make a big move, it will be what I want to do. It doesn't mean I won't fumble. Like I fumbled the ball a lot the last 5 years. Like that's how I feel. Like I keep getting put in the game, and they give me the ball and I drop it. That's my last 5 years. Where before I was like scoring touchdowns. I've been dropping the ball. So yeah, if I do make a big move, I need to. It probably doesn't matter how much I plan. I'll probably be all right when I get there. It's just not dropping the ball when I get there. Maybe that's what the planning's all about. But and I think I'll be all right. You know, because yeah, everything I want to do is it's the right thing to do. So I don't think there'll be any problems. But I can still find that things could go not as expected, of course. All right, let me see what show says here. So I'm gonna read comments now. Sim says, I can't read this. This won't work. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Let me know if you get WhatsApp. Yeah, I'll let you know, Slim. You never learn, Slim. I'm trying to learn. Or slow show, not you, Slim. Sorry, show. Sorry, Slim. I've seen that. I've actually seen that show. I know who you're talking about. I've seen that YouTube channel. Um, Funny. Yeah, I know. That's what I used to have. You got to have a team to have your teammates pick up the ball. Um, I think that's how I used to get along, get so far ahead because I had a team. It's hard to do things on your own. I literally like been here by myself for 5 years. That's why I'm not getting anywhere. I used to have a team, and I used to take care of a lot of people. And yeah, it's I don't have a team right now. It's probably part of the problem. No one to pick up the ball when I drop it, but someone's handing me the ball. So like, but I guess I just I'm doing everything on my own. So it's just what it is. Yeah, I can get a lot more than that, Slim. If I sell my house, um, not that that's a plan, but that could be. I rent it out, but then there's an issue there. Let me make sure I don't mess up my glasses. I think I would enjoy the Philippines. I think I would like it there. Um, they have the Self-Fin Dragons there too. I would like to go back. Like my YouTube channel goes full circle. back to the reptiles, but filming them in the wild instead of in this room, I think would be great. Um, Not that it would be like something new on YouTube, but it would just be some good content. It's something I would enjoy doing. And, yeah, finding the Hydrosaurus pustullatus, and I believe there are different phenotypes of Filipino self-fin dragons that they only have them in one category. So I believe there are different colors in different regions. I know they come from different islands. So if it's anything like the or the Indonesia, they have them all. Every island has its own species. So I don't know why the Philippines, all their self-fin dragons are in the same species, no matter what island they come from. I don't know. I'd like to go, figure that out. Go see what the differences are. Yeah, I know a lot about the Philippines, guys. I've done my research. Actually, I know that I can't buy my property there. I can't like work there. Like, I know that once you're married in the Philippines, there's no divorce, and you can't just go there and like, you know, marry separated uh, people. And I know I understand a lot of things, that are different there than they are here. I've done some research, but none of that really is going to stop me from doing what I want to do. Sure. Unless you let it stop you, that's what you got to say. You're going to let that stop you, right? But I'm not going anywhere. I don't have any plan. Like you said, I got to make plans. I don't even have a plan. I never planned on any of this. I was interested in the Philippines because the Hydrosaurus pustullatus, and like I love islands. I thought it was, but I was interested in a lot of places, Hawaii and Mexico, but now I'm not interested in anywhere but the Philippines, basically. So yeah, yeah. I know there's a lot of rains, tsunamis, hurricanes, but I think you kind of avoid things by like certain seasons, certain islands are better. Not that I would have all the money just to travel, but maybe I wouldn't mind sticking out a hurricane either. I'm not like that. Like I said, nothing's gonna stop me. Like whatever, I will go through whatever everyone else goes through. It's not a big deal. But if you're really worried about it, I think you could travel to like an island where there's not a hurricane during that time, or something like that. I mean, not that you ever know where it's gonna land, but I think there's seasons where more spots are like where there's spots where the hurricanes just don't go or something. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm not worried about it. If I was like somewhere where there's a hurricane and that's where I was, then I would just do what everyone else is doing to get through it. Not that I could do what they were doing, but that's how I would get through it. You know. You can work there, but to own a business, like you have to have certain paperwork, right? And you have to a Filipino would have to own like 51% of the business, and then you're not allowed to. Like, it's a good law. These laws are great, because that keeps you like taking money from the local economy or whatever. But I guess like so like yeah, I couldn't like I could work for YouTube. I could make money on a YouTube channel because it's not a business that's based there. But this is just research that or what I've heard that you can't like make money in a business unless like it's the partner is like only going at like 49% of the business maybe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on any of this. Um, and then like the land is like the same thing. Like you could buy a condo, but you can't like pass it on to anybody. Like, you can just live there while you own it or whatever. And laws are changing. You know, like, I don't know if it's getting easier to travel, maybe harder. Like, but whatever. I'm not a felon or anything. I can travel wherever I want to go. Like I just got to get my paperwork together. I'm free to go where I want. Yeah, you can, but I think that it has to be like I said. Like it has to be like yeah, like look into it, Slim. Like I don't know if it's like you can just go there. I don't believe so. From what I understand, like I don't believe you can just go over there and open a business. I think you could have a Filipino partner that owns 51% of the business, and then even then you might have to like have some type of visas, like work visas. Um, but yeah, no, you're not allowed to just and even like buy property. Like yeah, if you're married, like you can buy a property, but like that doesn't go to like once you're gone, that goes to your family that's there, but you can't like leave it to anybody like in another country. You know that goes back to the people there, which is great. That's why one of the reasons why the land is affordable there. Yeah, you do have some nice dragons in Australia. I would like to have a frill dragon. If I was going to add like another species, it would probably be a frill dragon, um, because that's another agama family. All my lizards are in the agama family, and I have a bearded dragon, which is an Australian season species. They don't import any animals out of Australia, so all the bearded dragons and frill dragons are either bred here in America, or they still do occasionally import the Indonesian frill dragons, but they're a whole different species than the Australian frill dragon. Um, I don't know, Slim, but maybe his business is like, dude. Yeah, just look into like this is just what I've heard, Slim. Like I said, don't quote me on it. I'm not like I don't know how those guys own a business. Maybe because he's not American. Like I don't know. I don't know how he does that. I know like a lot of Koreans own businesses over there too. Like, um, but just from what I understand, like I couldn't just go over there and start a business. Like that's not my plan because the way I understand it, I can't do that. Like there's and I don't know how the people who do that, but yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I think that um, I don't know. Maybe starting a business is different than getting a job. Um, yeah, yeah. Maybe you can't start your own business there, like piggeries and things. I guess people do that. Um, I thought they were married, um, but I could be wrong. Yeah, no, you might be right. You could be right, Slim. But I also heard that it's not easy to start a business over there because like if you like have a successful business, then it might. Anyway, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into too much of. I'm not an expert on any of this, but yeah, I would love to own a business over there. That'd be great. Yeah, I heard fishing could be a good. It could be a good business over there, or like owning apartments, like real estate type of business. But a lot of other businesses, I think, could be rough. Like piggeries and things like that could be hard. But yeah, not that that's not my plan really either. Um, yeah, I don't know what my plan would be. Would be hopefully when I got there to have enough money to not have to worry about it. Um, but if I could start a business there, that would be even better. You know, I mean, YouTube is kind of a business. Which the thing I understood about YouTube is like it's a business that's not based in the Philippines, so like you could make money there, but you couldn't just go get a job there. I mean, this is what I heard, so I could be wrong. But starting a business, I guess that would be a whole different thing. That maybe that's the difference. Is starting a business between getting a job from a Filipino business that already exists. But I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt anything you're saying, Slim. I'm not saying you're wrong about anything. I just, I heard what I heard, through other videos. But I could be totally confused about the way I understand it too. Like I said, the difference between working for a company there and starting your own business could be the difference. But I thought, from what I heard, this guy said that you can only own 49% of a business. So maybe those people that own businesses have Filipino partners. I could be wrong. That's an idea that, or I'm just completely wrong, and they own businesses, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. But it is what I heard through another YouTube channel. Basically, is all. Yeah, I'll have to watch that, Slim. And I can show you what I saw too. I think I know the guy who's too. You know, who said that he's married over there. He was talking about starting a business, but he's married, so and he has like a certain visa, like 2A. I don't know what it is. Certain he's got like a visa where he's got like residency over there almost practically. Um, but even his land is like he has yeah, whatever. But I'm not saying anyone is you're probably 100% right, Slim. You probably know more about what you're talking about than I do. So it's all good. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't do things like under the table too. I'm just saying the way the laws are written. Also, as far as like working, I'm sure you could go there and get a job and like get paid. But um, you're not gonna be paying like taxes and things like that. Or they even do that over there, but it's in the laws. Whatever. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, I would love to go there and buy a store and a restaurant. Sign me up. But yeah, I'm just saying what I heard the laws are. I'm not. I didn't research it other than just like what I heard someone say on the YouTube channel, which put thoughts in my head that like, okay, I can't do this or I can do that. But yeah, I would definitely have to do more research into all that. And it's good to hear that you can do that because that would be great if it was that easy. You know, but it seems like yeah, yeah. I heard they do have like some like of the more easier. You can get a visa there easier than a lot of countries. So that's good. Yeah, I heard that too, Slim. But you know, that's it's hard to believe, but that's really not um, why I would go over there. It's yeah. You would never find me in a bar over there or even drinking or anything like that. I just want to go there and live differently than I live here. You know, I don't know. Yeah, that's so awesome, Slim. I heard you mentioning that. Yeah, I hope you make it over there, and I know you're gonna enjoy yourself. Have a great time. Yeah, yeah, I hope you make it over there soon. Yeah, there are Slim, but that's okay. It's not like the woke scene like we have here. You know what I mean? I think it's a different vibe. Like I'm not worried about that either because yeah, um, I think you kind of have to get yourself in trouble. Like I'm not, I like not that that's trouble, but like whatever you're seeking out, that's what you'll find. Like I'm really you know I don't want to say I'm smart because I don't think I'm smart, but I know how to stay out of trouble, and I know the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. So um, I think that's more important than a lot of things. So when I get there, I'm not worried about myself. I'm not gonna drink. If I was drunk, yeah, I'd probably get in trouble, but I don't drink, so I don't need to worry about it. Uh, I'm not looking for any kind of trouble at all. Like you know, and not to even bring up trouble when you say that. That's not what I'm talking about. But like I said, like if that's what you're going there to find, you'll probably find a lot of that. Whatever you're going there to find. But I'm not like what interests me is just being there. Like it's not. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but it's nothing that's gonna get me in trouble. Put it that way. I don't plan on even things I do here. I wouldn't do there. You know what I mean? Like you know, whatever. I'll do what you're supposed to do. Like if there's something you're not supposed to do there, I'm not gonna do it. Even if you can do it here, you can't do it there. Then I'm not gonna do it. Where things here, like there's things I'm not supposed to do here, I'll do here anyway because I live here and like I feel like I know what I can get away with. Where like there, I'm not like it's not my country. Like I wouldn't try and get away with anything I'm not supposed to get away with there. And yeah, I think that's the main thing that would make me not have to worry when I got there. It's just yeah, I'm not gonna just wander around looking for whatever. Well, it was that way recently, Slim. Until like Chef and everyone, now I have like different groups of people and like a lot of European people too. But it was Ray and Uni for a long time. But I really enjoyed the Filipino community and the Philippine people. Like they were the most welcoming community that I met, and yeah, I really love all the people I met on YouTube from the Philippines. So like, I think they're all like really good people, and yeah, so yeah, that's why I do have a lot of them in my channel and supporting me, but they are a lot of the people that I like to support and watch too. So it goes both ways. Like that's not that both ways. That's funny. I support a lot of Filipino channels. They're like, and not just because like I'm showing support, it's because I really like those are the channels I like to watch and the people I like to communicate with and talk to. So that's why that's it's not like it was a plan. It's just the way it is. That's just who I like hanging out with. Oh, that's why it's 20 to 1. That's funny, Slim. That is funny. Knowing your life, what's that mean, Slim? My life outside of YouTube? I don't know if I have a life outside of YouTube anymore, Slim. Like, other than when I'm working, I don't put that on YouTube. But like everything I do is pretty much on YouTube these days. I hang out with these lizards. I sing karaoke. I cook food. I hang out with my animals, and yeah, I miss my kids, but they will be here hopefully this spring. It's the first year I went without seeing them, and it really sucks like, not seeing them. But it actually was an easier year than the years I actually did have them. Were actually sucked more. To tell you the truth, uh, it's no fun like getting your kids for a week and then have to send them back. It's actually one of the worst things there is to do. So it's almost better not seeing them for a year and it'll suck. And I hate to say that. But, it's funny you say that, Slim. But look at if you're in, I don't know what it's like there where you're at, Slim, but here in Eugene, Oregon, and not to offend anybody if there's anybody from Eugene watching this, but I'm not interested in any of the girls around here anymore. I used to be, and when I first moved here, it seemed like there was like at least a 2-to-1 guy to girl ratio in this town. It's a college town, and a lot of like cute hippie girls and stuff back in the day. But I mean, I'm not interested in any of the girls in this town. Like I don't leave my house. I don't have girls over my house. Like I don't have girls on my phone. Like I don't talk to any girls in this town. Like I'm being 100% honest. Like I don't go out to the bars looking for girls. Like I like lost interest in like the girls in this town because of kind of like all the wokeness and like the a lot of like blue hair and I mean I'm not want to talk about my hair. Like I had crazy hair or whatever, but yeah, it made it very unattractive to me, and I'm not interested in the girls in this town. So I don't go looking for girls, and I don't even talk to girls in this town to tell you the truth. That's one other reason why yeah, I can do what I do every night because if I had a girlfriend or any girls around, I wouldn't be able to like sing on YouTube every night. You know, I'm sure, but yeah, I'm not interested in the girls around here. So, um, and it's for a reason. They don't interest me. It's not like it used to be. You know, like something happened, and yeah. So I just yeah. At some point, like in the last 5 years, I realized I did go out to the bars like after my ex left a couple times. Like my friends wanted to always try to drag me out. Like, oh, let's go to this concert. Let's do. I used to do a lot of stuff. You know, I used to be out every weekend. And, yeah, after 2019, you know, in 2021 and 22, and going out, and I'm just like, no, just not interested in. Just not. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it other than I've lost interest in the girls in this town and in this country, maybe altogether. So, and I'm sure there's places that aren't like that. There's a lot of lovely, beautiful women in America, and but I, yeah, I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm gonna fill up my water. I'll be right back. Adam's apple. I don't know if you guys saw that song. Uni put that video out. He's got it. She's got it. Tuck the penis. Have you guys heard that one? It's pretty good. That's the other one. But anyways, yeah, it's funny the stuff you guys talk about are not the things I think about too much or ever concern me about going there. In fact, I don't have really any worries about it other than like getting myself together. Like whatever's there is like I'm not trying to change it or have a problem with anything that's there. You know, just need to make sure I'm good when I get there. That's all. You're not too old, Joe. I know you're probably not lazier than I am either. You really see me working out and stuff. Like I'm not too proud of myself for like how motivated I've been the last 5 years. So I don't know, but I'm not lazy. I stay busy. I just like I'm just too spread out, and like I just had too many pieces to, like put together that I just didn't know. For a long time, I didn't know where to start, and now it's like seems alright, it's easy, but I'm like, man, can I have those last 5 years back and start like right now? Nope. Anyway, I'm gonna stop bringing that up. Jeez. Yeah. Eugene's not a. This is not a bad place to live, though. This town, Eugene, is not a bad place. It used to be great. Like, I mean, I used to love this town. That's why I moved here. But and then I really didn't like it. I wanted to leave. Now I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, this place is not bad. I'm lucky to be here. And there's definitely a lot worse places. And if I leave, I might regret it. I definitely like, I have family back in Yakima. Show understands this. They want me to move back. They actually want me to move to Sela. Show. It's funny. My mom and my brother, they want me to sell my house and buy a house in, like outside of like Sela, maybe between Sela and Ellensburg or something. And I'm like, there is no part of me that wants to move back to Yakima, mom. I was like, come live with me, you know. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, laugh out loud, huh, show? I'm like, man. I could sell the house, but I'm like, I'm not moving back to Yakima. Dude looks like a lady. You should sing that song, Slim. I refuse to sing Aerosmith. I have a reason. I don't sing Aerosmith songs. My mom had a boyfriend. Actually, she might have been ex-husband, and that was his favorite band was Aerosmith. So I really didn't like that guy like, at all. Still, whatever. Hope he's doing good now. Uh, whatever. But when I was a kid and he was dating my mom, didn't like him, and he loved Aerosmith. So I won't sing. I don't sing Aerosmith songs because of him. I never, and not because of him. It's because I never liked the band Aerosmith because of him. So that's why I don't sing Aerosmith songs. Not because like, oh, I'm not gonna sing it because of him. Because of him, I don't like Aerosmith, so I don't sing Aerosmith songs. That's how it goes. But when other people sing like Aerosmith songs, I think they sound great because it's not Aerosmith singing the songs. And yeah, that's funny about a lot of music. Like that's what I realized about karaoke. It was like it doesn't matter if I was like, oh, I don't like this person, so I'm not gonna sing the song. I wouldn't sing any of those songs. You know what I mean? It's like as long as the song is good, it doesn't matter who sings it. It's you know, that's how it goes. So I don't like my one friend's like, you're gonna sing a U2 song. Like I don't care if it's U2. I'm like, it's a song. It's like if I felt that way, I wouldn't sing any of these songs. I could pick every one of these artists apart. You know what I mean? And like that's I just don't. And the reason I don't sing new music is because I never listened to any like new music. I haven't listened to like anything except reggae since like 2000. I don't know what. And then even when I stopped listening to reggae and started listening to something different, I only listened to like old music. I didn't like start listening to anything new. I just was like, okay, I'm not gonna listen to reggae, but I started listening to like old rock or something like that. Um, Funny. Is that what happened, Slim? I don't know why I don't see them, but I really miss them. It's so funny when I joined the team, and that was a year later. I thought, man, last year like there was it seemed like you'd go from like Julie's channel, the Sneaker Dan, to Brando's channel, and like the party was just going all night, and I wasn't even on the team. And now it's like I have to like start a live stream to get the party started. I don't know where everyone's at. I know that Julie's in the province, or she would be doing a live stream for sure. But Sneaker Dan and Joyax, I definitely miss their live streams, and I miss. It was such a great way to start out Sneaker Dan. And really, when I say he's my mentor, he kind of laughs, but I'm like, I mean, what else? That's what he was. He took me under his wing, and he sang with me for like 2 straight months. I don't even know how long until like Julie took over, but yeah, he was there like even like longer streams than me and Julie. We would go like, I mean, he would leave and go do other things, but they were like 11, 12-hour streams. I think 12 hours we had to cut them off, but that was. Who did you listen to? I don't know what you say there, show. Oh, and Professor. Big little shout out to Professor. Nice to see you. We're just talking, and Professor. If you want to spark up a conversation, you can change the subject. You can change the channel. We can. I was like, we talk about whatever. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I thought we would maybe we do some sports or. But even boxing, Slim. I was like, I know so much about boxing, but I haven't watched it recently. I know like a lot of the fighters, but when I was like a teenager, I used to subscribe to the magazines, and I knew like every champion in every division. I could tell you like who the WBC champ was, IBF champ, uh, you know, the WBO champ, WBC champ, WBA champ. I could tell you them all like in every division when I was younger. I knew their records and everything. It was crazy. Like I really, but now I don't. I know like I watch the big fights, but I don't know like I don't like go through every day and like see who the top rated fighters are in every division. Like I really had it. Like that's how I used to be when I was younger. If I was like that now, I could definitely do a boxing show. But I could talk old school boxing. Like tell you about the best boxing card I ever watched was Don King put together, and it's called La Revenja. It was like all rematches. With the main event was Julio Cesar Chavez, Frankie Randall too. That whole card was stacked. If boxing would have put cards together like that, it would have rivaled the UFC. I mean, it would. And boxing's still doing good, better than I thought it was dying for a while, but I think it's like maybe on the up. But man, that card they had Azuma Nelson versus Jesse James Leja rematch. They had Julian Jackson versus Gerald McClellan rematch. They had Simon Brown versus Terry Norris rematch, and they had Julio Cesar Chavez and Frankie Randall too. Wow, best boxing card of all time, greatest boxing card ever. When I watched that, I thought boxing was like the best, and then like nothing ever really topped that. You know, I was really young when I watched that card. I mean, the Tyson fights. I remember watching George Foreman and Evander Holyfield. That was great. Uh, but yeah, that card that Don King put together, that was the best card ever. Top to bottom. I don't know, Slim. I don't know. Um, I think that from what I can see, like other people are busy. I think that Stinger Dan's he's doing good. He's got his little business going on, and yeah, hope the best for him. Hopefully, he's doing good. That it's not. worth his time to be on YouTube because he's doing something that is more worth his time. So, yeah, I hope that's what's going on there with Sneaker Dan. Hope you're doing great, my friend. And Joy Axe, I think, um, she tries to make it on the live streams. She doesn't always have the best internet, and she seems like she's really busy taking care of her grandma. And I think that's the only thing. I think she would be there more. I think that she, is really dedicated to taking care of her grandma, which is great. Yeah, thank you, Joy Axe and Team International, and Sneaker Dan. But yeah, I don't think it's anything other than that it's not the same as it was last year. Yeah, I noticed that when you go live, if you go live every day, you will pick up an audience and you get momentum. You fall off when you stop doing it, but yeah, I think anybody could pick it. Mers went live yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw that. I sang with Mers for a few songs. She only maybe went live for an hour or two, but yeah, Mers did go live yesterday. Yeah, I didn't see any of you there. I don't think. Were you there, Show? Maybe Show. Maybe you were there too, Slim. I don't know, but no one else sang. I know I was the only one up on the panel. Man, the Roy Jones, yeah. I used to see those were the days too. I used to record all those fights. I had a stack of VHS with every like HBO boxing match. The night that Mike Tyson fought Peter McNeely, that was another great card that I'll never forget. But that was the first night I started my job at a grocery store, so I almost didn't go to work my first day because of that fight. They told me I had to go in that day, and I got laughed at. So I was like, all right, I got to go to work. So I missed the card. I came home right when the end of the Tyson fight was getting over. But Joe Hip from Yakima, Washington fought on that card. He fought Bruce Seldon on the undercard of that fight. He lost. He fought for the WBA title that night. He fought for the heavyweight title from Yakima, Washington, Joe the Boss Hip. He lost to Bruce Seldon. The same night Mike Tyson fought Peter McNeely. The same night I started my first night of work and I missed the card. I was so into boxing, I almost didn't go to work. I wasn't going to go to work that day, but it was my first day. And yeah, Show knows about Joe Hip. And Mike Tyson he would have fought Joe Hip if Joe Hip would have beat Bruce Seldon, but he lost to Bruce Seldon. So then Mike Tyson fought Bruce Seldon, not his next fight. He fought Frank Bruno his next fight, won the WBC title. Then he fought Bruce Seldon his next fight for the WBA title and knocked out Bruce Seldon. And he pretty much missed the punch and knocked Bruce Seldon out. And I don't even think it was a fixed fight. I think that's how weak Bruce Seldon's chin was. That Tyson literally missed the punch and knocked him out with it, and caught him kind of maybe the forearm on top of the head. And Bruce Seldon went down and crumbled. And then he got up, and the referee's like, "You ready to go on?" And he's just like, "No." The referee stopped the fight. I swear Tyson missed the punch. So yeah, he knocked out Frank Bruno. Then he beat Bruce Seldon, who beat Joe Hip. So Joe Hip would have beat Bruce Seldon. It would have been Joe Hip versus Tyson that night. And Joe Hip would have done a lot better than Bruce Seldon did because Joe Hip had a lot of heart. If you saw him fight Tommy Morrison, he almost just walked through Tommy Morrison just on pure guts and almost won that fight. He got knocked out in the 10th round. It might have been the ninth or 10th round, but he was going to be Tommy Morrison that night if he didn't get knocked out in the 9th or 10th round by an uppercut too. It wasn't even the left hook; it was the right uppercut knocked Joe Hip out in the 9th or 10th round. But he was going to win that fight against Tommy Morrison. He was good. The momentum was on his side. It was pretty much dead even going to that round, but all the momentum was on Hip's side. He was walking through him. He was going to win those last 3 rounds, and then this uppercut just out of nowhere knocked him out. And it wasn't like Tommy Morrison got a burst of energy and was going to win the fight. He just landed a really good uppercut and then out of nowhere, and he looked exhausted. Even after Joe Hip went down, Tommy Morrison just looked like he wanted to quit the fight. It's crazy, but yeah. Anyways, Joe Hip lost to Bruce Seldon and didn't get to fight Tyson, but Bruce Seldon split the whole side of his cheek wide open, you could see inside his cheek, and when Mike Tyson was going to fight Bruce Seldon, they used the pictures of Joe Hip's face in the commercials, and Mike Tyson's all, "Do you know who Bruce Seldon is?" He's all, "Joe Hip knows who Bruce Seldon is." So it made his face look like hamburger. That's what Mike Tyson said about Joe Hip. So Bruce Seldon made his face look like hamburger. But even though Bruce Seldon beat Joe Hip and Tyson beat Bruce Seldon, Tyson and Joe Hip would have been a way better fight just because Joe Hip had heart, and Bruce Sullivan didn't. Bruce Sullivan had a good jab. That's why he beat Joe Hip. You didn't like Holyfield. I wasn't a fan of his either, and he was a roided out little guy. But dude, he fought those monsters, and yeah, you can't. I can't say he wasn't a great fight. I mean, he fought Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, and I mean those guys wouldn't fight each other. Riddick Bowe wouldn't fight Mike Tyson. Like Riddick Bowe wouldn't fight Lennox Lewis, and Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis fought each other when they were older. But a lot of those guys wouldn't fight each other. Like Evander Holyfield fought them all. Like he didn't care, and he did good against everybody. Even though he wasn't knocking everybody out, he knocked a lot of those guys down. And rocked them. Yeah, I wish Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe would have fought. That was the fight That was the fight that should have happened when they were both champion. They were both big. They were both coming out of the Olympics. Like Riddick Bowe just beat, and it was all it was scheduled. They were supposed to fight. It was like the 4-man tournament. I don't know if you remember this, Slim. Like Riddick Bowe was going to fight Holyfield, and then Lennox Lewis was going to fight Razor Ruddock, and then the winners were supposed to fight each other. Yeah, Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe both won. And then Riddick Bowe throws his title in the trash and says he's not going to fight Lennox Lewis. Throws the title in the trash. He had the other belt because he won the 2 belts. Or maybe he won them all 3. It might have been the unified title. No, because somehow Lennox Lewis had the WBC belt. They must have stripped one of the titles. Or because Riddick Bowe threw it away. That's how Lennox Lewis got it. Yeah, so Riddick Bowe was the undisputed champion because Tyson was the undisputed champion. He won the undisputed title from Holyfield. He was supposed to fight Lennox Lewis because Lennox Lewis was ranked number 1 in the WBC. He threw the WBC title away so he wouldn't have to fight Lennox Lewis. And then Lennox Lewis got the WBC title. And he lost it to Oliver McCall. And then Oliver McCall lost it to Frank Bruno. And then Tyson picked up both those, the WBA and they all got separated after that. I don't even know. Is there a unified champion right now? Is Usyk the unified champion, or is there? No, I think that there's another title out there that he doesn't have. Daniel Dubois but Joseph Parker just got stripped. I think, or if he was a champion, who is the other champion besides Usyk? Is there another belt floating around today? So that's what I'm saying. I know more about who the champions were in the 90s and 2000s than I do today. It's crazy. I was a big Morris fan. I was a Tommy Morris. Oh, are you talking about Michael Morris? What? Are you talking about Morrison or Michael Moore? Morris. Who's Morris? Maybe you're thinking of Morrison, Tommy Morrison, or there was Tommy Morrison, and there was who's the other guy I just said? Oh, Michael Moore. Michael Moore was a great fighter too. He was another guy who wasn't big enough. Like Holyfield wasn't big enough for heavyweight, but was when he was a light heavyweight, that guy was a freaking destroyer. He was knocking everybody out at light heavyweight. I watched all of Roy's fights. Roy was great. I think of Roy in his prime was one of the best fighters in the world. But his thing was Lennox Lewis and Bernard Hopkins and James Toney were 2 of the greatest fighters of their generation. They couldn't touch a prime Roy Jones Jr. But when Roy Jones was past his prime, those guys would mop the floor with him because they were really skilled boxers. Where Roy was a freak of nature, he was just faster than everybody. He had an edge on everybody. When he lost that edge, he lost everything. Where Bernard Hopkins and those guys, they never had that. They were never just born better than everybody else. Not that Roy was born better. He worked on it. Obviously, his dad was trained him, but he was faster than everyone else. He was just better than everyone in his prime. But when he wasn't in his prime, he wasn't like that. And Bernard Hopkins and James Toney, the way they fought, it didn't matter. Those guys can still fight today. They were those old school. They had this this type of skill that Roy had a different type of skill, And Floyd's the combination of both. Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd, the thing about Floyd that you could never say, like he didn't. He had a long career and he never lost, and he beat Canelo Alvarez, but he had those tough fights with Medina, and those guys that he avoided in his prime. That he waited until they were past his prime. He didn't fight Pacquiao until Pacquiao stopped until he got knocked out by Marquez, and then he didn't. He never fought Paul Williams when he was in his prime. I don't know if you ever fought Margarito when he was lacing his gloves. Yeah, you met Tommy Morrison. Exactly. I was a Tommy Morrison fan. I liked his left hook. It was great. His chin wasn't so great. He was a good fighter. He wasn't, I don't know how much of what happened to him was Ray Mercer too. Like that one fight with Ray Mercer. I don't know if you saw that knockout. I mean, maybe it was his HIV, but I think that Ray Mercer ruined Tommy Morrison in a lot of ways. He still could hit hard, and he still has some big wins. He beat George Foreman after that, but he was knocking everybody out before Ray Mercer. I mean, he still did knock a lot of people out, but Ray Mercer, he messed Tommy Morrison up pretty bad. When Tommy Morrison was still young too, those two guys shouldn't have ever fought each other. That they were both coming up. They put him in there. Yeah, that was a bad match for Tommy Morrison because Tommy Morrison was a hard puncher and he was knocking everyone out, but Ray Mercer was the one guy no one could knock Ray Mercer out. So that was a bad matchup for Tommy Morrison. And Ray Mercer had already beat him in the amateurs too, but Tommy was just he was beating everybody. It was a bad match, and he could have beat Ray Mercer that day, but he should have. If he would have boxed Ray Mercer like he boxed George Foreman, maybe he would have beat him. But he went in there trying to knock him out like he knocked everyone else out. And like I said, Ray Mercer, you're just not going to knock him out no matter what you hit him with. You just could knock that guy out. And then when Ray Mercer hurt Tommy Morrison, he just it was the most brutal knockout. I don't know if you ever seen that one. Look at Ray Mercer, Tommy Morrison knockout. Yeah, I don't think Tommy Morrison was ever the same after that fight. No, Tyson and Riddick Bowe never fought. They were both from Brooklyn too. They're both from the same neighborhood. Both from not Catskills. I don't think Riddick Bowe is from Catskills. Maybe he was, but they're both from Brooklyn. Riddick Bowe and Tyson. This is crazy. Oliver McCall, that guy can still fight today. Never been knocked out. Ray Mercer eventually, that iron chin went away. Klitschko was able to knock him out and stuff, but I don't know if anybody ever knocked out Oliver McCall. And that guy fought until he was in his 50s, and he was on all kinds of drugs. Did you ever watch those Riddick Bowe Andrew Galata fights, Slim? That was the biggest brawl. That first Riddick Bowe Andrew Galata fight. I had that on VHS. I used to watch it all the time. That brawl at the end of that fight was unreal. But what's crazy is those two. So Riddick Bowe, he lost to Holyfield, but he was, he was the best fighter in the world at the heavyweight when he fought. That's what everyone had him ranked as the best heavyweight when he fought Andrew Galata, and he got beat pretty bad. But Andrew Galata kept hitting him with the balls, so he got disqualified. And then there was a big brawl after the fight. That was a huge brawl. And then they had a rematch, and Andrew Galata got disqualified again for hitting him with the balls two times in a row, even after the big brawl broke out. Crazy. But that ruined Riddick Bowe. Riddick Bowe was, that guy's got some brain damage, fortunately. I always liked Riddick Bowe, kind of. I like watching him box. This Holyfield fight's really good. Remember the Holyfield fight? The second Holyfield fight was the one where the guy with the fan came flying into the ring. The seventh round, a guy in a parachute and a fan just goes flying in the middle of the ring. They had to stop the fight for 7 minutes. That might have helped Holyfield. I think that was a momentum. I think that one fighter had momentum going. They had to stop the fight, and then the other fighter had momentum when they went. I could be wrong. I think that was the one Holyfield won his title back. I think that the Fan Man definitely helped Holyfield out in that one. Yeah, that was a street fight though. That didn't go on the record. Everyone didn't like that Rocky movie. I really liked Rocky Five. The one that I didn't like were after that. I didn't like the one with Antonio Tarver. Like Rocky was too old. I liked all five of the first Rocky movies. I think are money. I like them all. It's when they killed off Adrian and Paulie because they like maybe Adrian was already dead, but they could have put Paulie back in there. I think I was alive till recently. Bert Sugar was that his name? Bert something. No, Bert Sugar was the boxing. Bert something played Paulie. No, it was definitely Rudy Bowe and Evander Holyfield when the I might have said Lenny Lewis. It was definitely Rudy Bowe and Evander Holyfield when the parachute guy came in the ring because Rudy Bowe and Lenny Lewis never fought anybody. That's what I was talking. Never fought each other. That's what I was talking about. That was the fight that everyone wanted to see that never happened. Was Rudy Bowe and Lenny Lewis. Those two avoided each other. But I was saying like I give Evander Holyfield credit for never ducking anybody. He fought them all. Yeah. Yeah. He fought Michael Moore. He fought everybody he could fight. Yeah. Evander Holyfield, the warrior. He wasn't my favorite boxer either. I always rooted against him actually. Like no matter who he fought, I think I rooted against him. I don't think I ever rooted for Holyfield, but now I look back on him, I'm like, yeah, he fought everybody. He didn't he didn't duck anyone. He might have been on steroids, but he was little too, and everyone else probably was too. So I'm not saying that because you're little you can take steroids. I'm just saying he was already at a disadvantage, and he's probably fighting big guys that are on steroids too. All right, I'll be right back, everyone. Gotta use the bathroom. Man, I just realized it's 9:35. I don't know why I didn't look at the clock here, but yeah, I should probably end this stream and let these lizards get to sleep. They should have been asleep a while ago, and I have to feed myself, and yeah, I didn't realize how late it was. So yeah, thank you everyone for being here. No, it wasn't, but it was Bo and Holyfield who was fighting. Yeah, Bo didn't go. He would have beat Holyfield if the guy didn't play in the ring. It wasn't Tyson. Tyson and Bo never fought each other. It was Tyson and Holyfield when the guy flew in the ring. And yeah, no, you can look it up. It was the second Holyfield and Rudy Bo fight. Then the fan man flew in the ring. And yeah, I think that it definitely helped Holyfield out. And Rudy Bo's probably not happy about that. Everyone liked Tyson. All right, everyone, I'm gonna end the stream just because it's 9:35 and I gotta close it. I gotta turn these lights off. So it's time for these lizards to go to sleep. So I will see everyone soon. Thank you all so much. Oh, Guapa Julie, now you're here. I'm about to end the stream. It looks like you're going to do a live stream. I just saw that, Guapa Julie. So I'm going to end the stream and I'll watch your live stream. I don't know if you're singing or what you're doing, but I will check it out. Oh, yeah. Mega love shout out, Guapa Julie. How was church, Guapa Julie? My young Buntag. All right. It's not morning anymore, is it? Kamustika, Guapa Julie. It is way later than I thought it was. That's why I'm getting ready to end the stream. And yeah, in the stream. Put these lizards to sleep. I can start turning the lights off and keep the stream on. Keep the stream going. Ready to turn all the lights off. All right. Now everyone can sleep. We'll turn off this last light. Yeah, you're late, Guapa Julie. Where you been? We're waiting for you. It's all right. We were just talking. This was a live stream where I wanted to have a conversation. And just, I don't do the best at communicating with my audience. Did I say that weird? Communicating with my audience. So that's all I was doing, was just talking with people, having a conversation. Thought we would talk sports, lizards, whatever. Trying to talk about myself too much, but I think I did. But that's all right. Yeah. Yeah, let's thank Guapa Julie. I'll end the stream right now. And I had to put some pants on because I know I was hanging out here. I put on shorts and a tank top because it is like 85 degrees in here. But the rest of my house is not. So I will get ready. And yeah, I will sing some songs with you, Guapa Julie. Let's go. Team International. Make a love shout out, everyone. And everyone who is here tonight. Slim, Show, MK, Guapa Julie, Mama Dingo, Paulette, and Professor Christopher, Cold Games Co. How did I not see that? Who is Cold Games Co? Someone was here and I missed him. Even like trying to read the comments, I still missed somebody here. Wow. Yeah, thank you, show. Thank you, everyone. How did I miss this person? Yeah, moderator. Anyways, I guess I did walk off for a second. Maybe that's why. But yeah, thank you, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day, and that's a wrap.